Okay, so if you're working with animals or even just studying too, you already know that things can go wrong in a heartbeat. And being prepared, well, it's not just about having the right gear in your kit, it's about having the right mindset. Seriously, in any animal care setting, that mindset is what makes the difference between a good outcome and a tragedy that could have been avoided. So today we're going to walk through the 5 core principles you absolutely have to master. Let's dive in.
So, let's put you in the moment. You see an animal. It's clearly hurt. It needs help. What's your gut reaction? I bet it's to just rush in and do something, right? But what is that something? What's the very, very first thing you do? Do you call the vet, try to stop the bleeding, whisper comforting words? Let's figure that out.
And here's the twist. Your first move isn't a physical action at all. It's a mental one. Before your body does anything, your brain needs to kick into gear with a clear framework. You need a mindset. And that's what turns a panicked and maybe even unhelpful reaction into a calm, professional response that actually makes a difference.
Which brings us right to our first principle. You've got to define your mission. This is all about knowing exactly what your job is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't.
This right here, this is your mission statement. Look, your job is not to be a veterinarian. You're not there to diagnose or perform surgery. Think of yourself as a critical bridge. You are there for 3 reasons: to preserve life, to stop things from getting any worse, and to help start the recovery process, all while you're getting that animal to a vet. You're the emergency response, not the final cure.
And this chart just lays it out so perfectly. You see, your role is initial response. The vet's is diagnosis. You stabilize, the vet does surgery. You get the animal there safely, the vet handles the long-term care. Knowing where that line is drawn is absolutely crucial.
And this quote tells you exactly why that line matters so much. Trying to do too much, trying to be the hero, can actually cause serious harm. Why? Because it delays getting the animal to the expert care it desperately needs. Your number 1 mission is to get them to that vet, safely and as fast as you can.
Okay, so let's move on to our second principle. This is something you have to think about before you even dream of touching the animal. You've got to secure the scene. And that's not just about the animal, it's about everything and everyone around it.
So before you take a single step closer, you just stop. You look, you listen, you assess. And why is this so important? Well, because if you get hurt, you can't help anyone. You've just turned one victim into 2. Your safety, believe it or not, has to be your absolute number 1 priority.
And we're talking about all kinds of hazards here. You might find an injured dog on the side of a road. The immediate danger isn't the dog's teeth, it's the traffic whizzing by. Remember, an animal in pain is unpredictable. Even your own sweet, loving pet might bite out of fear. You just have to think through every single possibility before you act.
This is so true. This step is not about ticking a box on a form. It's the big one. It's the go or no-go decision. If you can't make that scene safe for you to enter, then you don't go in. It's really as simple and as serious as that.
All right, so you've defined your mission, you've made sure the scene is safe. Now what? Well, our third principle is all about how you actually make contact. It is all about the approach.
The whole point here is to lower the animal's stress levels, not add to them. If you come in frantic and panicked, you're going to make things so much worse. The animal might try to run, it could get aggressive, or it could even hurt itself more. A calm, low-stress approach is always going to be safer and way more effective.
This breaks it down perfectly. Let's say you're dealing with an injured cat. Before you even get close, you grab a thick towel or a blanket. Then you approach slowly, talking in a calm, quiet voice. Once you're there, you can use that towel to safely wrap the cat up, controlling its head and its claws. See, every single step is calm and deliberate.
And this right here, this is the absolute truth. The middle of a high-stakes emergency is not the time to be figuring out how to use a slip lead or wrap a towel for the first time. You don't want to be learning when your adrenaline is pumping. These are skills you need to practice until they're just pure muscle memory.
Okay, so you've secured the animal safely. Now we finally get to the hands-on part. Principle number 4 is all about providing that immediate, life-saving care.
This is where your practical skills really shine. We're talking about the key actions that deal with the most immediate, life-threatening issues. This is the absolute core of what animal first aid is all about.
And you have to do this in order. There's a clear priority list. First things first, can the animal breathe? Okay, great. Next, is there any major bleeding? Then, are they going into shock? So if you find a dog with a bad cut, your first priority is not a neat and tidy bandage. It's getting firm, direct pressure on that wound to stop the bleeding, right now. Knowing this sequence is what lets you act fast and with confidence. And that's what makes this so critical. Hesitating or doing the wrong thing can cause harm that was totally preventable. Having this knowledge locked and loaded in your brain means you can act the second it's needed, and you can do the right thing when it matters most.
Okay, we're on the home stretch. You've done the core care, you've transported the animal, but guess what? You're not done yet. Our fifth and final principle is all about ensuring a successful handover.
You have to remember, first aid is a team sport, and you are just the first player on the field. The information you've gathered, what happened, what time it happened, what you saw, what you did, how the animal responded, all of that is absolutely critical for the vet team taking over. You're the first link in that animal's chain of survival. Just think about that for a second. There's a huge difference between showing up at the vet clinic and saying, this dog is hurt, versus saying, at 2:15 p.m., this dog was hit by a car. He was unconscious for about a minute. I applied pressure to a deep cut on his rear left leg to control the bleeding. See, that second version gives the vet a massive head start. Your clear report is a powerful tool for them.
So let's put it all together. This is it. This is your mental checklist for any animal emergency. Number 1, what's my mission? Number 2, is the scene safe? Number 3, how do I approach? 4, what's the most important care I can give right now? And 5, who do I need to tell and what do I need to say?
You know, you can memorize these principles. You can practice the techniques until you can do them in your sleep. But the real question is this: are you ready to actually adopt this mindset? Because when an emergency hits, it's not just about what you know. It's about how you think.